Hi everyone, we are doing some more English work today and we are still focusing on our story, The Lion Inside. Today is a very exciting day because we are going to be starting to plan our own story. So we're going to be using the story of The Lion Inside and making some small changes to it to make it our own story, and then eventually we're going to be writing that story. So today we're going to be thinking about the characters in the story. So the first thing that we're going to be thinking about changing to make the story our own is the characters. Now, in The Lion Inside, there are two main characters, the mouse and the lion. And the mouse is a small animal and the lion is a big animal. So in our new stories, we're also going to have a small animal and a big animal, but it's not going to be a mouse and a lion, it's going to be two different animals. So our first task for today is to think of other small animals that could be a character in the story and to make a list of the ones you can think of. Now, if you're really super confident with your writing, you might make a list of lots of animals. You might write all of them down on a list. Or you could just focus on writing one or two names of small animals down, really thinking about your phonics. Or you could draw pictures of the animals. So pause the video for a bit and take some time to think of those small animals and then restart it when you've got a nice list. Okay, so hopefully you've got your small animals now, and I'm just going to share with you some small animals that I thought of. So we've got a guinea pig, a bee, a bird, a hedgehog, a beetle, and an ant. So you might really like the look of one of those animals that I've thought of, and you might be thinking you might want to use one of those in your story, or you might want to use your own. It might be as well that when people send me in the ideas of the small animals they've thought of, that I can post some of them and you can use some of those ideas as well. Our next task is to think of some large animals. So do exactly the same thing that you did with the small animals. So pause the video now and take some time to think of those large animals. Okay, so hopefully you've got some large animals in your mind now, or you've written them, or you've drawn pictures of them. Here are some of the large animals that I thought of. I've got an elephant, a tiger, a rhino, a hippo, a gorilla, and a zebra. So now that you've got some ideas of some small animals and some big animals, whether it's your own ideas or you want to use the ideas in this video, what I'd like you to do now is think of a small animal, choose a small animal for your story, and choose a big animal for your story. And it says here, how many different matches can you come up with? So you can play around and try out some different combinations and decide which small animal and big animal you want to be the characters in your story. So have a think about that. Pause the video for a bit and take some time to have a little think about that. So I've chosen my small animal and my big animal, and I went for a bee and a rhinoceros. So those were my two choices. I'd be really interested to hear what your choices were. So I've got my small animal, my bee, and I've got my big animal, my rhino. So now you've chosen your two animal characters for your story. This is your independent challenge for today for you to have a go at when you finish watching the video. I want you to think about what your two animals would say to each other. And I'd like you to write two sentences. You can write more sentences if you want, but I'd like everyone to have a go at writing two sentences. One sentence for your small animal and one sentence for your large animal. So I'm going to read you what I've put for my bee. My bee is saying, I'm faster than you and I collect nectar. And my rhinoceros is saying, I'm stronger than you and I have horns. So let's have a little think about what is in my sentences that I've done. Okay, so I'm faster than you. Do you remember when we did some work on the endings of words and how the endings change when we are comparing something? So fast goes to faster, and we add on that ER ending. I'm faster than you. The rhinoceros is saying, I'm stronger than you and I have horns. Can you spot that ER, that comparative ending again in this sentence? I'm stronger than you and I have horns. So when you write your sentences, I'd like everyone to try and use a comparative ending, an ending in your sentence. So that's what I'm looking for. It might be I'm quicker than you. It might be I'm nicer than you. It might be I'm faster than you. It might be I'm smaller than you. But I would like you to use a word that's got the comparative ER ending at the end of the word. I'm faster than you and I collect nectar. So our bee is saying something that the bee is better at than the rhino. And then we're learning a little bit of information about what the bee does as well. And the same with the rhino. So let's just look at some things that we need to make sure we're including in our sentences. I've got here at the top my capital letter for the beginning of the sentence, and here capital I there at the beginning of the sentence. I've got some nice finger spaces in between all my words, and I've got my full stop at the end. The other thing that I'd like everyone to try and include in their sentences, if you can, if you can't, it's all right, but let's see if we can all have a go, is the word and. So you're joining your two ideas together. We're not saying I'm stronger, full stop, I have horns, full stop. We're using and to join them together. So let's just go back over that. In everyone's sentence, we want to see an ER comparative ending, capital letter, full stop, and the word and. I'm really excited to see how your sentences are going to turn out. And remember, if you need any help, you can send a message to your teacher and ask.